am speaking to you at a time of crisis. A crisis which from its very nature affects every man, woman and child in this country. Because it is essentially a question of national credit and the stability of the pound sterling. The restoration of German credit was only accomplished after indescribable sufferings on the part of the whole of her population. That is the danger from which our country has to save herself. It is no time for party considerations. There is no banker's ramp.
Leaders of the three parties have come together in order to arrive at the greatest common measure of agreement as to the steps that are necessary to meet the present situation. All matters on which opinions diverge must be, for the time being, put aside. And we are all at one that it is our duty to concentrate on those steps on which we are agreed and which we regard as imperatively necessary in present circumstances to save the state.
Good morning. I suppose you expect to see me with an axe. I have none. I have a pruning knife. When you apply an axe to a tree, you end its life. When you apply a pruning knife, you prolong that life. If the country gets into financial straits, or if outside in the world it loses confidence, then the first to suffer will be the very poorest of our people. We must all join as a united nation and bear equitable sacrifices to see the present crisis through. Now, some of you are under a great delusion. You think, for instance, when you get the same amount of pounds and shillings as an income per week, that you are receiving the same values. But you do nothing of the kind. The value of a pound and of a shilling varies from week to week if you can consider how much they buy, so that you may, from a less nominal income, really have a higher standard of life. I hold in my hand an envelope of a letter posted in Berlin and sent to England at the time when German credit was smashed. You will observe that the postage stamps upon it amount to the colossal figure of 80,000 million marks, a sum which was once equal to 4,000 million pounds sterling. That is the result of a smash of the credit of a country. Those of us who are in office now are not going to allow this country to sink into that deplorable position. And so I appeal to you all, do your bit like men and women, cheerfully and heartily, to maintain and strengthen not only the foundations of the existence of your country, but the reputation and the honor which is such a glorious characteristic of the life of our nation.